And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. This is Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On this week's episode of the Pop Culture Cosmos, we talk about Chainsaw Man carving up the box office. Get that? Halo campaign evolved. Are you with it? Are you not with it? But guess what? PlayStation fans will be with it when it comes out next year because Halo is being refreshed once again for a new audience, plus best-selling Halloween costumes and more. So go ahead and check it out today. The Pop Culture Cosmos, wherever you get your podcasts. Also want to make mention, of course, the Lakerholics crew, Lakerholics.com, and also, of course, as well, Dodgers, for Dodgers coverage, it is playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. No, it's not. It's playback.tv/The Joe Soro Experiment. They're on right now, but if you guys watching live, I will keep you updated. It just finished the top of the 13th. I've got right now, top of the 13th, done. Going to the middle of the 13th, going to the bottom of the 13th with the game tied 5-5. And I'm really rooting. I know that Kershaw was taken out of the game, but Kershaw got it done when it mattered, got the bases loaded out that he needed, and I'm really rooting for the Dodgers now. So hopefully we can go ahead and see a win by the Dodgers because we surely didn't see a win by the Lakers today. So he didn't have a great game. No joker. I'm going to prove you wrong on that one. But of course, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for listening. The Lakers came in tonight, the walking wounded, with only 7 fully active roster players available for today's game. The 3 two-ways were also in effect activated as well. So Joe's nightmare came true today. We got to see a lot of Bronny, a lot of Dalton coming off the bench, Nick Smith coming off the bench. And for the first half, there was no bench with 0 points, with the Lakers down by 7 at the half and only shooting 1 of 12 from 3. And you could tell this team was tired. You can even look at it in the box score because the Lakers were 7 of 27 overall from 3. That's 26% from 3-point area, 47% shooting overall. The Lakers did, like I said, they kept it close in the first half, only down by 7, but in the second half, Portland, who did play also yesterday, but they stayed in LA. They played in LA and stayed in LA. Didn't have to come with a flight home, and obviously they're still a little bit healthier than the Lakers, and it showed as they outscored the Lakers in the third quarter, 32-26, and then in the fourth quarter, 33-31, as the Lakers unfortunately lose 122-128. I'm going to go ahead and get the guys involved here, who's ever available to do so right here in just a few minutes. Hopefully I can get John Kostak. Hopefully I can get the guys involved here in a second. It is, of course, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching this and truly appreciate you joining us. Don't forget my good friend Drip Show right above me. The Luca canvas art, the Kobe canvas art, the Kobe pillow right here, really looking good. You can get that kind of quality today by going ahead and following Drip Show Shop at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Go ahead, follow it right there. Follow him there on both Instagram and Twitter. If you want a design, pop culture related, sports related, on a hat, t-shirt, pillowcase, canvas art, what have you, it doesn't matter. He'll do it for you, I think. Well, at least send him the idea. We'll do everything because there are certain legal laws that you have to kind of obey. So, but if you got an idea and a concept that you think he would do, he may do, he'll tell you if he can do it. And then he'll tell you how much and then send it out to you. He'll show you the designs, and I'm sure and all that. He'll tell you what, his work is unparalleled. So go ahead and check him out today at Drip Show Shop on Twitter. So yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing something with the Lakers, hopefully coming up later this week, but they do have a still tough schedule ahead. The Dodgers, by the way, 0 outs, but they do have a runner on second with a double. So I believe it's Edmund, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, we'll keep you abreast of what's going on with the Lakers. It is, of course, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching this and truly appreciate it. The Lakers unfortunately lose 122 to 108. So we want to go ahead and talk Lakers here coming up for the next few minutes. So hopefully you guys will be able to join us on that in the chat. The world's best chat, the Lakers chat out there. Of course, the Lakers Fast Break podcast. I will go ahead and say today, the Lakers they look tired. They just could not keep the sustained energy that they had last night. It was very disappointing to see, but it's realistic. It's what are you going to do when you only can field out there 7 rostered players? This is what I called at the end of our playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. And by the way, if you were there on stage, CCG 03, Tough, also as well, Div X-Ray, I think Sean was there earlier. Big shout out to you guys for being on there and holding the fort down. You guys did a great job. I said before I left playback that this is the Rob Pelinka game because this is where your depth of your team really shows. And if you guys have guys that come in there and can't do it in that first half, like I said, 0 points. Now, Dalton Connect in the second half got you 16 points, but 2 of 8 from behind the arc. At some point in time, just really taking some bad shots. And of course, defensively, it still was a work in progress. Bronny James, 19 minutes. Zippo, as far as points. Nick Smith, 20 minutes, 2 points. Yeah, not really a whole lot to ask from. And again, Dalton Connect, he did get you 16, but man, just really his shot selection, sometimes I wish he'd go ahead and really be able to hit better on those threes like he once did. But right now he's still struggling with his shot from the outside. Austin Reeves, once again, 41 points, trying to do it all. 41 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 3 steals. Not quite the numbers he had yesterday, and that's exactly what they needed today. DeAndre Ayton, only 16 and 8 today. Jake LaRavia, that was also a big letdown. 3 points for him. Jared Vanderbilt, good shooting day for him, which is a rarity, 6 out of 10, 14 points, 7 rebounds. But I wish he needed to give us the more today offensively. But 14 is about the max you're going to get from him because he's just doesn't have that offensive skill set. Gave us a little bit of effort for the most part, but even you can see with his back-to-back, you did see he couldn't give us the kind of sustained energy. None of the Lakers could, and that's really was a tough ask, especially when the bench wasn't giving you a whole lot at all in the first half. And Rui Hashimura 16. But again, a good try, good effort, but yeah, just not enough as the Lakers faded in the second half, 122 to 108. And again, I'm going to get the guys out here in a second. Looking forward to a great conversation tonight. Hopefully the Dodgers can bring it home real soon. Looking right now at it right now, man on third, 2 outs for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 13th. And now it's really getting a little nervous with Ohtani up at bat if they don't walk him. They just walked him. Oh, well. So much for that. But it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. Yeah, no, Joker, he's not going to. They took the bat right out of his hands. Corbita says Bronny had 19 minutes with no points. He pulled a classic Gabe Vincent cardio session. Yes, he did. But yeah, okay play for Vando. Okay, probably his best performance of the year by far. But again, this team looked tired. It didn't have the energy in that second half. It had the will, but just not the fight. And just as absolutely just you can see it coming on. And I think, again, this is a Rob Pelinka game where Rob Pelinka just set out to, do what he do as far as setting up this team, as far as the roster. And unfortunately, you saw what a poor job he's done as far as filling out the back of the roster because those guys couldn't pick it up today. They couldn't pick up for the guys that were injured with 7 rostered players only able to play today. And here today to go ahead and discuss, good man indeed. He has his own playback channel, playback.tv/Lakers Fast, /Lakers Corner. See, I say Lakers Fast Break so much, it's in my head. Playback.tv/Lakers Corner. He also is a full member of the Drip Show Shop Army. It is John Costa. John, great to have you here. I see that pillow in the background. I see the pillow behind you. Yeah, I see it's right there. Yeah, you got it right there. cheap plug for Drip Show anytime, anytime. I will say this, my friend. When it comes right down to it, the Lakers, unfortunately, this roster, we said had issues. They were one of the worst benches last year. They only got two players to help out with that bench in Laravia and Smart. And when you have only 7 roster players playing and the 3 two-ways, those guys that are supposed to be filling out the back end of the roster are going to be asked to play. We even said this leading up to the season because I know that Joe's favorite player, Bronny James, was talked about. How JP said Bronny's going to see more time, and people ask about Bronny. It just as simple as that is you have to be prepared to play when you're at the back end of the roster. You still have to be prepared to play, and I said there's going to be a time, whether we like it or not, through performance or injury, they're going to call on a guy like Bronny. They're going to call on a guy like Nick Smith Jr. They're going to call on a guy like Chris Mannion. They're going to call on a guy like Dalton Connect, who really struggled until, wait till you hear it, garbage time. So with that, the bench really did not give what they needed to give today. And it shows that when you don't have those type of quality players after player number 6 or 7 on the roster, and it's basically up for grabs on whether or not they can do anything for you, it makes it that much harder when you sustain injuries like the Lakers currently have.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was the back half of the bench just letting us down. And honestly, as far as like a game story with this, and I'm always big on like game stories, is because I do my 3 minute game recap, so I like to think of it like from like a storage perspective. Honestly, in that first quarter, when AR and Aiden were out there running that pick and pop game, we
Yeah.
actually had full control of this game. We actually had full control of this game. I was like, man, this is looking good. But the second that they went to go sit down, the second they went to go sit down, they got blitzed. They got blitzed, and even when it was just Aiden out there, Aiden wasn't able to just create for himself. Like he needed somebody like Austin Reeves to get open looks for him to be able to create. Um and 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 it was just extremely reliant on Austin Reeves. Like we would honestly make runs to get right back into this game, and then as soon as Austin Reeves was sit, we would just get blitzed. In that first quarter, I know we all seen this stat, but I mean that first half, I know we all seen this stat: 0 bench points. Come on, guys. Like it's just not. It's not going to be possible to win in a league like this. 0 bench points, and then also the 25 turnovers. I mean,
Yeah,
my
it's just fatigue, man.
yeah,
It's just
it's
fatigue.
fatigue. It's fatigue. It's fatigue, but it's fatigue from the back to back. But it's also fatigue from the fact of like we were relying on Austin was literally the only player that was like probably able to bring the ball up court. You know what I'm
And
saying?
he
Like,
was gassed. They knew it too on Portland, and they full court pressed him whenever he had the ball and he brought it in. They full court pressed him, which is the thing that everybody's copying from Oklahoma City now. They're all full court pressing like Oklahoma City does. But they knew it. They knew he was gassed because in the second half he was gassed. About 5 minutes left in the third quarter, John, he was toast, and he could really not give you that much more. And he tried, but you could just see that the wind had gotten out of his sails. And unlike what Lightning Blitz put in the chat, that was absolutely a blatant lie. Unfortunately, the Lakers, again, this is a Rob Pelinka game because if you don't have the depth to fill out your roster with quality players, if you go ahead and give a spot to Bronny, or and you have Dalton and you don't address Dalton's issues and problems properly, like it clearly that the Lakers have not, then this is what you get. You get guys that the next man up, you're looking for a next man up because the next man up really didn't get you what they needed to get you.
yeah, I mean, there's no next man up mentality with this type of team. But then again, like honestly, like I'm gonna be honest, Gerald. Like I'm not gonna spend too much time harping on this one, just because, like, I mean, we were missing not only the best player but the second best player. Maybe actually, no, I wouldn't say third best player. Um, No, because we weren't missing AR. But I'm just trying to basically make a point of like Marcus Smart's going to be very important for us, and we're missing him. Of course, Luke is going to be very important for us. Of course, LeBron's going to be very important for us, and we were missing them. But still, though, honestly, that was actually atrocious. And never mind what I was just saying. I was trying to find some good in this, Gerald. To be honest with you, but there is none.
Antoine's in the chat. Antoine, great to have you back. Man, hit me up, man. Let's get you back on the show when you can. Please let us know when you can hop back on the show. It was great having you on before. He said even Dalton had 16. How do you feel about his performance? Not great. Not great, Antoine, because he did nothing for you in the first half to keep the Lakers close. In fact, the bench had 0 points. 0 points in that first half, John. Second thing was a lot of the points that you saw, Antoine, was when the game had already been decided in the fourth quarter, which is a Dalton trait, as you remember from last year, Garbage Time Connect. And he missed several shots in that third quarter. At one time, he was like 1 of 6 from 3. He finished 2 of 8 overall from 3, but that's supposed to be his bread and butter because you saw on the defensive end, Portland singled him out again, as every team is going to do when he's in there. The scouting report is there. When he comes into the game, clear the way for whoever is playing on offense against him because they are going to pick on him. And unfortunately, like I said, we need him to get those points when the Lakers are like in the third quarter, when they were within 10, when they were within 6, I believe. At one point in time, and looked like they were really closing in on them. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case. But Dalton, it's points at the end of a game when the game is already decided, Antoine. And I would just love to see him. I really want the kid to succeed, but it's just so hard to see him succeed when you've seen so many times he's given that opportunity and just can't get it done. I understand he's a rhythm player, but it's just so hard to keep him out there if he just can't even get shots inside. Like when he went for the dunk when he should have gone for a layup. If he goes for a layup, John, he's got an easy basket, but he wanted to go with the superstar dunk and got it blocked out of bounds.
Yeah. Are we talking here on Dalton? Because honestly,
yes.
I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of over Dalton, to be honest with you. And the reason why, and like I was big on, I'm not say big, but I was just more lenient on Dalton because coming into like last year, because I was like, okay, well, like he's a perfect prototype player to be coached by JJ Redick because that's the exact player that JJ Redick was himself. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze.
Gesundheit.
Sorry, what is that? How do you, is that bless you in Chinese?
Yeah, that's just like no.
It sounded Chinese.
Well, the reason why I don't say it's God bless you because I said that one time at the airport when I was working the airport many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady said, "How do you know my denomination?" and chewed me out for 5 minutes because I said, "God bless you" to her.
Oh
so,
my God!
Yeah. So if I don't know what your denomination is, I'll say Gesundheit.
I believe in the Lord and Savior, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
That's fair enough. God bless you, then, my friend. But yeah, but Gesundheit is a polite way of saying God bless you. That's non-denominational. I'll just
no joker said
that's not in Chinese.
He said shut the hell up in Japanese. It's so funny. But
Udasai, yes. Udasai.
But yeah,
when I tell Joe, Udasai. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say Udasai, Joe. Udasai.
Where is Joe at? Where's he at?
He's watching the Dodgers right now, man.
Oh wow.
There's a World Series going on.
Yeah, you know me, Gerald. I could give a poops flying poop about it.
It's 5-5, 2 outs, top of the 14th inning. Blue Jays and Dodgers right now in an epic game. But yes, tough. I can understand your frustration, but we do have to dwell on it, John, because of the fact that tonight the Lakers needed people to step up. You got a better game from Vando. I'm going to give No Joker some love because he's on Vando Hill. Tonight you did get a better game. 14 points is like a big out-time outburst from him. You're not going to get much more from Jared Vanderbilt offensively. And defensively, he was okay again until for the entire Lakers team, they just ran out of gas. DeAndre Ayton he couldn't follow it up. Last night's performance, 22 and 15, 16 and 8 is okay. Okay. But again, he looked like he did not have that same kind of zip in his step, the same kind of energy in his step that we saw last evening. Same thing with Rui, 16 points. Not bad, but the Lakers needed more than just okay, not bad. They needed good performances. Jake LaRavia was also a disappointment too. This was his chance in the starting lineup, got almost 30 minutes and 3 points from him. He is supposed to be the big acquisition, the guy that, Rob Pelinka was stealing from everyone else. Doesn't look like that case so far. Looks like, again, you're going to get some spots with him, but I was hoping he could be more than what I've seen so far.
Gerald, what's crazy? So like I've been saying, and I think you agree with me, because we talked about it last time we were on the post game together, and I just basically said like I don't understand why in the world why we bought this guy in, besides the fact of this is Austin Reeves' homie, right? Like that was that was what I said, and I've been getting so much slack for that, like around my channel. Like a lot of people in the comments have been like talking crazy, or like even just like when I say it, they're like, bro, what? Like Jake's gonna be good. Jake's a good defender. He can shoot. I was like, I have not seen like a single bit of any of it. Not
he was
even
minus 27, John.
Yeah.
Minus 27. Nick Smith
Right.
wasn't that bad tonight. He was only a minus 13, but by far and away the worst player on the team. If you believe that plus minus stuff, he was infinitely worse than everyone else. 1 of 6, almost 30 minutes of action, John. 3 points. That's all he gave you.
Damn.
Minus 27. How do you do that?
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm
That's
telling
almost
you,
like he stood out there in half court and just
just ran and just right. No, legit. I was gonna say the same thing, Gerald. It's kind of like he just like went out there and just ran, just basically ran back and forth.
Most one says Jake from State Farm not that good. Well, Jake from State Farm might have done more in 29 minutes than what Jake LaRavia did tonight. But again, we need those guys to step up. This is what was touted by Mr. Rob Pelinka when he's handing out those T-shirts, saying we're destined to get number 18. You stay focused on number 18 and all that. And I don't know why he's doing this. I don't know why he's doing that when you don't go put out and don't go all out like he did in the offseason and get a team around Luka with quality players that if he's out can pick up the slack. We see it with other teams. Oklahoma City, they have their second leading scorer out in Jalen Williams. They're undefeated. There are other teams out there. Denver has a quality roster. Other teams that we've talked about, the Clippers, Houston, whatnot, they will be okay because they have rosters with players coming on that can still affect the game in a positive fashion. I mean, I know you didn't get a chance to hear us on playback, but it just seemed like once Dalton and Bronny, that wave of players, Nick Smith Jr., those guys come in, it's like I could hear Tough moaning and he was groaning. It's like, oh no, why did he bring at the fourth quarter? All of us were thinking the same thing. Tough blurted out and praise to Tough for doing so. Big shout out to Tough for doing so. So what the hell are you bringing those guys back in for? Because it's just like you're throwing the game. And then Div X-Ray and CCGO3, and we all followed with the same thing. It's just like you're throwing the game when you're bringing those guys back in the fourth quarter. But what can you do because the other guys are so gassed?
Yeah. No, I mean we had no other option. Like we had to dig into this terrible bench, and to what you were saying earlier, like it was tough. I feel you because it was visible. It was extremely visible, right? Like you would see a noticeable shift in the way we played. You would see a notable shift in the energy. Honestly, to be real with you, Gerald, I don't know if you saw this, but you would see a noticeable shift in like the way that the Blazers played. Like when I seen Bronny, when they would see Bronny come on the court, like they're just jumping at the gun, right?
That's the guy you point at. That's the
they're
guy you
literally
point at.
jumping at the gun, and they're defending him. And I said this on my playback. I said this kind of looks like it's like when the varsity plays against the freshmen. I was like, and there was a point in the time in the game when it really looked like that. I was like, kind of look like varsity versus the freshmen because it's just like they're just like jumping at their gun. I'm not talking down on the white guys. The white guys.
The white guys are carrying. Well, they didn't carry them tonight outside of Austin Reeves. Tonight, nobody really helped Austin Reeves, regardless of ethnicity. Didn't help them enough. And again, Vanderbilt, 14 points is an offensive outburst from him. That's the maximum you're probably going to get from him in a game. So he gave you pretty much all he could. But it's those white guys tonight, like Dalton Connect, who was 1 for 6 from 3 before he hit another 3, 2 of 8 overall from behind the arc, got most of his points when it didn't matter. 0 points in the first half from the entire bench from any ethnicity in the entire bench. 0 points in that first
Gerald.
half.
Oh,
0
no,
points.
you got to clip that. You got to clip that. That was hella
Well, it would have
funny.
been better if I said 0 points regardless of ethnicity off the bench tonight. So white or African-American, Hispanic, Asian, didn't matter. They didn't score anything in that first half.
He said, regardless of the nationality.
Regardless, because that bench this is the case in point, John. 0 points in that first half from the bench. And we saw, like I said, just didn't give you a whole lot thereafter when it mattered. And that's a problem because you could see just how gassed the white guy, Austin Reeves, was tonight in that third quarter.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, to me, Joe, they're like, there's nothing more to say on this game. I feel like you just got to toss this up and move on, right? Do you know when? I think JJ Redick said Marcus Smart will be back like for the next road game, right? Because I know LeBron is still out for some time. I know Luka's out for at least a week.
At least a week, but you got to remember that next Sunday, Monday, guess what? They play a back-to-back. So my guess is he probably won't be back at the earliest until middle of next week, if that's the case, because of the fact they are playing a back-to-back. DeAndre in the revenge game, was it Div or was it? I don't know who was said that because last night. Oh, wow. I remember last night on last night's post game, someone said today was going to be the revenge game for DeAndre Ayton. I will tell you, quote, after the game, he said they definitely were talking crap to him the whole time. Denny Avdia, every shot he made, he kept rubbing it in. So the Portland team was rubbing it in his face tonight. I just wish he could have gotten more done. But again, these are the times that also DeAndre Ayton has to step it up. And he kind of gave you a pedestrian game. Again, he gave great effort yesterday, John. We saw that in Sacramento. It's sad when he just could not pick it up on a back-to-back.
Yeah. I mean, I was wanting to see a revenge game from him, but I also feel like DeAndre Ayton isn't really a player that, and as we saw tonight, just confirmed my hypothesis. He is not the type of player that really goes and creates offense for himself. Like, he needs offense created for him. So hard to see. It's going to be hard to see a revenge game from him. And then honestly, I mean, to be real with you, on the Lakers side of things, besides everything we already touched on, the turnovers and all that, like, and the injuries, like, there's nothing for me more to touch on. But just really quick to give at least a little credit to the Blazers, they do got some elite athletes and some very, very good perimeter defenders. And I'll be honest, I mean, I think they're a low-key underrated team. I'll be real with you. I think they're a low-key underrated team. I know this isn't the Blazers podcast, but just giving the Blazers at least a little bit of credit. I mean, granted, we were extremely short-handed here, but I like what I've seen from their backcourt defenders, to be honest with you.
Well, Bloodhound, I agree with you. We noted that the first two games of the season seemed like Ayton's rev meter only revs so high. We saw him; he would just jog back on fast breaks by the other team in transition and whatnot. He just didn't seem like at times he really looked like he was just going through the motions. But Bloodhound, even you got to admit, last night he was really playing inspired ball last night, 22 and 15. But he was hustling. He was actually leading the fast break at one point. It was beautiful to watch, to see the kind of effort that he and the entire team gave. But it's clear in the NBA, John, if you don't have a quality roster, you're going to go
Yeah.
ahead and you're going to go ahead and just you just can't give that kind of continuous effort if you don't have those backups in there, my friend. I got your
I
message.
agree. No, I agree. I mean, these aren't robots, Gerald. Like these guys need some sort of break, because when you're tired, that's when you make the most mistakes. I mean, even we seen Austin Reeves got a couple turnovers when he was exhausted. I mean, he had 8 turnovers tonight, but because he had the ball damn near the whole game. So I hear you on that. Real quick though, on that note, I am about to hop to do my 3-minute game recap. So just want to give a quick plug if anybody wants to check out my channel, Lakers Corner on YouTube. If you guys want to check me out on Instagram, it's Lakers_corner. Twitter is at the Lakers Corner, and TikTok is Lakers Corner 24. If you guys want to check me out, I did 3-minute game recaps, just different type of Lakers content. But Gerald, you are the best. And I just, again, I already said this a bunch of times, but to everybody here in the chat, make sure you guys always show love to Gerald, spam with super chats, subscribe to LFB, because Gerald is a real one, and nobody does what Gerald does. I'll be honest with you. Nobody
I
does.
appreciate it, my friend. Once again, it's John Costa. Please give him some love at Lakers Corner on social media. Our social media guru, indeed. John, continued success, and I will see you back, I'm assuming, for the next game.
Yes, sir. You will. Thank you very much, Gerald. All right, brother.
My friend. All right. Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. It is Gerald Glassford. The score was 122-108. The Lakers are now 2-2 on the season. RD23 says Santa Glassford a prodigy. I like Emperor Palpatine. That was better, RD, from the other day. Bloodhound says Dallas making flag play point guard. They're desperate. You saw Bloodhound in the Dallas game, and I noted this. I'm going to have a conversation I'm going to post tomorrow, my NBA observations to everyone out there. Right now it's available for members only, but it will be available tomorrow. We did talk about Cooper Flag, and that the fact that it did look more like an offense, like a cohesive offense, when they put D'Angelo Russell in the game for extended time, which they had not done so the previous 2 games. Yeah, Flag is it's not pretty, him at point guard. I will agree with you, Bloodhound, but I believe this is a learning tool for him to help his overall game. So when Kyrie does come back and he doesn't have to play point guard, this will help his secondary playmaking skills. And I think this is right. Like, he's taking his lumps now. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more on that, but I think he's taking his lumps now. That on the other end of it, I think he'll do much better out of it. RD23, you can say that again, my friend. Truly appreciate it. Gustavo, yes, thank you, my friend. Thank you for everyone being here. I know that the Dodgers are in a very exciting game right now. It's in the top. It's in the bottom of the 15th. 1 man out, 1 on first base. It is the Dodgers and Toronto Blue Jays tied at 5 in the 14th inning. 3-2 count to, I think, Teo Hernandez. So hopefully we will see another home run by him, or like they did early in the game. I thought it was great to start off with. I saw flash of, the first run of the game was Teoscar hitting a home run. I thought, yeah, this is going to be the Lakers. It's going to be the Dodgers game, but it's been very exciting. This is a game for the ages, indeed. So we will see what happens with the Dodgers, and I'll keep updating you on it. Johnny said Gerald would show better effort than Lakers sometimes. Yeah, I mean, you got to have that effort. But Johnny, I understand limited number of players in Sacramento flying down, even though it's a short flight. Johnny, you sound like because you were on the Kings one time, you were familiar with that Kings Sacramento LA flight home. It's not that long of a flight, but Portland was here. They did play the Clippers at the Intuit Dome last night. So, but they got to, didn't have to travel. They just stayed at the hotel. You didn't have to go anywhere afterwards. They could just crash. Maybe that showed up tonight. Plus also the fact that they had their full roster going against the Lakers limited roster. And this is what I have a concern with over the next week, is how many of these players are going to come back for the Lakers and how soon it will be. JJ Redick says he's hopeful that the Lakers will have Marcus Smart and Jackson Hayes for Wednesday game, but that we've heard that before. So I will repeat. Wednesday, we could get Marcus Smart and Jackson Hayes back. So I'm hoping that's going to be the case. Right now, it is, again, bottom of the 14th for the World Series. Dodgers and Toronto tied, man on first and second. Edman is up, 0-1 count on him. But yes, very exciting right now. All of Los Angeles is pinned on that. But again, the Lakers, unfortunately, played like they felt like a day off. Yeah, absolutely. 2 on, 2 out. Definitely looking forward to seeing what's going to happen right there. Yes, I just saw him popped up. I'm delayed, Tough. You're ahead of me on the feed. So thank you for updating us on that. I will say this. When it comes to the Lakers, again, I can't really be too mad, regardless of ethnicity. I don't know where that came from. You just call it like you see it. When you see Jake LaRavia give you 3 points in 29 minutes, when you see up until late in the fourth quarter when the game is already decided, Dalton start getting points when you needed it more in the first half and in the third quarter. Bronny gave you a donut. You never should put that type of deal as far as ethnicity into your thinking or mindset. You just call it like you see it. And today the bench gave you little or next to nothing when they needed it the most. And the Lakers, you could see in that third quarter, start to really run out of steam. DeAndre Ayton, Jared Vanderbilt, who always supposed to gives you great effort, he started to tire out. Rui Hachimura in that second half just looked like he was going through the motions. They looked like a tired team. And unfortunately, the Dodgers did not get it done. Goes to the top of the 15th now with the game tied at 5. Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. Yeah, it is 3 outs for the Dodgers. So yes, it's going to the top of the 15th, tied at 5. But it is the Gerald Lakers fast break. Tell me your thoughts. I mean, I can't really hold too much against the Lakers. I'm not really mad at them. I mean, they tried the best they could. I mean, but obviously energy was an issue tonight because they didn't have the same type of energy. This is something visibly you can see, but this is a lot on Rob Pelinka for not going extra lengths to build a more quality roster, to build more quality depth around Luka sooner rather than later. RD23, though, I think it was a joke, but no worries. It's all good. That was all good. I just had to point it out, though. RD23, all good, my friend, all good. But would you say Luka and Austin are the best scorers for the Lakers? No. I mean, Luka is, yes, right now, and I like to say Austin, but LeBron James is sort of like the all-time leading scorer, so I would be remiss in not putting LeBron right there with him. So I can't diss LeBron James as the all-time leading scorer. I mean, I don't know what he looks like yet. He hasn't been, he's been hurt throughout training camp. He's got the sciatica. Who knows what he's going to look like when he comes back? He could look like LeBron, or he could look like old LeBron. He did at times. So I will have to wait and see. Let's hold off on that question. But right now, with no LeBron, yes, those are the 2 best scorers on the team at this point. But, for tonight, getting back to Austin, though, 12 of 14 from the free throw line. I know a lot was said last night after his 21 out of 22 at the free throw line performance. I think that's what we're seeing. I discussed that at length earlier today with Caleb Ponce. That if for members, they can hear right now. For everyone else, they'll be able to hear it tomorrow. We discussed the fact that right now there's a feeling out process for the refs. Some of the individuals like Austin Reeves, SGA, Butler, and some others are taking advantage of it right now. So that's why I think you're seeing a lot of clearly way high double-digit free throw line attempts for some of these guys out there. But 41 points for Austin. I don't know what more he can do for you, because it clearly showed that tonight that the tank was running on E for him in that second half. I just wish that DeAndre Ayton had been able to give you a little bit more Rui Hashimura had been able to give you a little bit more, so that would have kept them in the game, but they started to fade in that third quarter. Once again, another issue with the third quarter, but I think this one you could put on just the fact that the Lakers just don't have a quality enough roster, and you're asking so much of the players that are giving you most of those minutes tonight. And when you're asking Rui and DeAndre and Austin to play 36 to 40 minutes on the second game of a back-to-back at the NBA level, even if it's to a team like Portland, which some people say is going to be good, some people say maybe not. Your determination on how far that can come. I just say this: that right now, the Lakers, if they stay at 500 when Luka comes back, I would be very happy. I would be very happy if the Lakers are at 500 when Luka comes back, hopefully sometime next week. Johnny says Hayes would help better. Yeah, Hayes is going to give you something, but remember, his game is also predicated on offense with the lob, and Austin could facilitate a lot with that. So I'm hoping to hit him and Hayes, if Hayes comes back on Wednesday, can really start to work on that, especially going into Minnesota. Now it's an opportunity with Anthony Edwards, guys. Anthony Edwards is out of for at least a couple weeks with that hamstring issue. So there is a chance they could pull one out in Minnesota unless Randall goes crazy, which I know Blake would be happy about that. Naz Reid, they got to make sure they guard him coming off the bench. But yes, as long as they can go ahead and not let Randall go crazy in Minnesota, they do have a chance and opportunity if Marcus Smart comes back and Jackson Hayes comes back as well. RD23 says Gerald Dallas had 9 on DNP and Lakers had 7 on DNP. That's how Flag ends up as part. Yeah, I understand that, RD. But this is their design for him. Again, it is not a great fit for Cooper Flag to be their point guard. I think this is still something that is you're going to get residual returns on down the road. Him with getting so much usage out of the ball, it doesn't look good right now. I get it. I understand that. But with Cooper Flag, I think this is only going to serve to help him down the road by utilizing him in this fashion. I wouldn't keep him as my point guard. Absolutely not. But I'm just saying out of necessity, they're utilizing him. When they won their game last night, it was mainly because they decided to increase the minutes for D'Angelo Russell and put him more at a traditional point guard. So it helped Cooper Flag play off the ball more. But I think that time, like I said, the time that he's going to be now, it's not going to be pretty, but it's going to help for his development down the road. It's just simple that. Would I still do it? No. But again, by necessity, same thing for Amen Thompson in Houston. He's getting a lot of the usage. He is their point guard, de facto point guard, and he's going to get a lot of usage right now because of it. And it's only going to serve to help him become a better player down the road as well, in my opinion. And we saw that with Austin when he was told or instructed, and when he was given the starting point guard position, it wasn't the prettiest. It wasn't the best looking with him at the point guard position full time as a starter. But I think we see some residual effects from that as far as what he needs to do, as far as being able to facilitate, be able to run the offense in case someone gets injured, or to do it as a secondary playmaker. And I think it's only served to help him that time he was the point guard for this team. Tuff says, ain't going to be easy to be 500 when Luka comes back. Again, Tuff, I'm just hoping for the case. But looking at it, again, the next few games for the Lakers, it starts in Minnesota on Wednesday. It doesn't get a whole lot easier, but again, you do not have Anthony Edwards for this next game, so that is a little bit on the bright side. That's going to be at 6:30, everyone, on ESPN, just to let you know. Friday's game at Memphis, that one's going to be a tough one because Memphis has played okay this season. John Morant has had a big game already this season, and Jaren Jackson Jr. is playing out there as well. I know he had 1 6-block game, if I remember correctly. So Memphis, and then also Cedric Howard. Watch out for Cedric Howard because he just went off think 6 of 6 from behind the arc. He had like a 22-point game for the rookie for a kid that has only played 6 or 7 college games. I think before he got injured, it was 6 or 7 college games before he got injured. But Memphis on Friday on Prime Video for everyone out there. Then coming back home to Miami, and then going up on Monday, the next day, to guess where? Portland. So we see Portland these 2 weeks on the Monday of a back-to-back. So Portland will get us fatigued flying in from LA. Great on Monday, next Monday night. That's awesome. And then Wednesday on ESPN, possibly by the time Luka comes back, a week from Wednesday, that's on ESPN. That's against right now, who is the MVP in my book, Victor Wembanyama in San Antonio. RD23 says the Suns are horrendous. I've talked to behind the scenes. I've talked to a couple of the guys that I interviewed for the Phoenix Suns. I cover the Phoenix Suns, and yeah, it's not been a pretty sight right now. But I don't think a lot of people were putting high expectations on them. RD, maybe a play-in at best, but I just don't know what they're doing. I honestly don't. I mean, come on, Malawak. He's your 10th pick in the draft. Mark Williams, you traded to get him. And those guys are coming off the bench and getting a sparing amount of minutes. And I don't get why. I do not know why they're playing Oso as their starting center. I mean, sorry to the kid, but he is not the guy that they traded for or the guy that they drafted high in the draft. So I don't understand that at all. And then, of course, Booker is also, like you guys talked about Cooper Flagg, Booker is also not a point guard, a traditional point guard. He should play off the ball, and it makes things so much easier and better for him if they do. But he is, by de facto, their point guard also in Phoenix. And that's something I want to bring up. If you look across the league, if you guys play fantasy out there, you can really see it. There are not a whole lot of quality point guard play right now in the league after you get through about 10, 12, maybe even 13, 14, as far as point guards in the league right now. A lot of teams are struggling with that. Indiana, they just had to sign Mac McClung today to a contract because they lost their third point guard as far as for quite a while with, I think, Nemhard, McConnell, and of course, you know about Halliburton. So they had to, sign Mac McClung and waive former number 2 overall draft pick, Jonathan Wiseman. They waived him after I think he just started a game for him the other day. So that tells you all you need to know about Jonathan Wiseman. So yes, they waived him for that. But Minnesota has had an issue because they have Conley coming off the bench. They now made DiVincenzo the de facto point guard there. Rob Dillingham, their high draft pick, has been persona non grata. He's just sitting on the bench doing nothing. You and I get more cardio than he's been getting lately. So I just think there's a lot of teams out there that are struggling for the point guard position. It's just doesn't seem to be that deep of a position right now overall in the NBA. So a lot of teams are trying to figure their way out. So they're by force putting players that are not specifically 100% suited for that point guard position. Again, that's just my perception. If you guys think I'm wrong on that, let me know. But RD 20, he has, yes, that's right. No joker. He does. I saw that on the highlights. Flag has balls and Mamba. RD23 says mentality, even at a young age. Yes, he's got a moxie to him. That's why I think there's going to be a lot of good things in his future. You either have it or you don't. Guys like Aiden didn't get that trait. Yeah, because for every game that we saw, like last night, RD23, he follows it up with eh. But the problem is the Lakers needed more than just tonight, as the Lakers faded in the second half and lost 122 to 108. They're now 2-2 on the season. Go ahead, just to let you know, it's the bottom of the 15th. The Dodgers and Toronto Blue Jays are still tied at 5, nobody out. Hopefully the Dodgers can finally get it done. I guess call is up right now. So we'll see what happens. But again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you guys joining me for the post game. It's not one of the biggest post games that we have, but doesn't make it any less special because, I know that a lot of eyes are on the World Series right now. I know a lot of guys out there are not happy that the Lakers lost, but I am happy that you're here anytime you can. Make sure, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Please help me out. It is greatly appreciated. And I truly appreciate I'm taking the time to help you guys out to hopefully get you through this. If you're listening out there and I'm getting you through your way to work, through the terrible traffic out there, and you only flip the bird to 2 or 3 people in the cars out there, I'm hoping I'm doing that. Thank you for listening. If you're there at the cubicle at work, listening to the sound of my voice, getting you through the day at work, that just don't kill your boss is what I say. It's, I was a boss once. Actually, I was boss more than once. I was actually boss quite a bit. And I tried to be the boss that you didn't want to kill. I tried to be the boss that always tried to work with you. When you did a good job, I let you know. When you didn't do a good job, I let you know, like an individual, like an adult. And I didn't treat you or demean you. So I'm hoping that you don't have a boss like that, really abusive to you. But if, don't kill your boss, because it wouldn't be good for you. But if I am getting you through your workday, I'm thankful for it as well. Thank you, RD23. Although make sure you spend time with that girl, that lovely lady of yours, when she comes into the room or when she comes into where you live, my friend, because that's, again, if you have a special lady in your life, you always got to make sure you do what you can to let that individual know. No Joker says, I'm happy Dalton got some. I don't know, no Joker. I mean, I don't want to argue without Vando. I'll give you Vando for today, but I can't give you on Dalton. And there was a lot of stank today on Dalton. We talked about, you heard us on playback. You saw on playback for the 3 quarters. It wasn't a pretty sight. Again, 0 points in the first half. They picked on him quite a bit on the defensive end. He just is so soft on the defensive end. It's just, I feel bad for the kid. I really feel bad for the kid. I really want to root for the kid, but he got most of his points when the game was already decided upon. And we needed it in that third quarter when the Lakers started to fade. When the Lakers started to fade and him and Bronny were put into the game, that's when we needed those points. And yeah, that's what he got. But well, yeah, 2 of 8. But yes, you're right. On the good side, he did see a 3-ball go in because he was allowed to chuck it up. But there was 1 or 2 times, where he just took a shot with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. And I was like, you've got to make better choices. If you are open, you'll get the ball right back and set up for a better looking 3. I need him to go out there. I think he's still forcing things. And it's a situation where maybe the trade is still in his head, no Joker. Maybe it's an issue of him feeling like, again, like you guys have said, he's a rhythm player. I said he's a rhythm player. I get it. I understand that. But he really needs to know, and I think he knows coming in today, he needed to really make an impression. And so he forced the issue in that first half and in that third quarter. And it really looked like he was forcing too much and not letting the game come to him. I know it's a vernacular. I know that's a cliche, but there is such a thing as letting that game come to you instead of you trying to always force the action, sometimes to your team's detriment or your own detriment as well. I would love to see Dalton, really get into a rhythm and be allowed to do so. But again, it's just so hard because on the defensive end, he just leaves himself so much distance between the players he's guarding. When you see him go up for a shot and try to defend a shot, he just gets caught so far, like 2 steps, 3 steps away from the guy that's shooting. And as you guys know, in the NBA, a lot of times that's death. That's a basket right there. That's a clean look almost for these guys. And you just gotta close up on these guys a little tighter, a little stronger, a little more forceful. And I just want to see that from Dalton. But again, he's 24. He's 24, and I really, really want to see him succeed, but I just don't know if it's going to be with the Lakers. And I know it was said last night, watch Dalton be traded or go somewhere else and excel there. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to a Charlotte, or if he goes to Brooklyn, or if he goes to a Washington or a team that doesn't win very much, where he'll get 20 to 30 minutes a game, and they're willing to live with his deficiencies on one side of the ball in order to get him into a rhythm where he can become that 40% shooter from three that Joe hates me saying so much. And that's what I want to see from him. So I don't know if he'll ever get that opportunity here again, but today was a golden opportunity for him to make an imprint on the game when it mattered, and it just didn't happen. I was so disappointed to see that for him. So I really like the kid on a personal level. I've told you guys the story, and I hate rehashing it all the time, but for those who haven't heard, I did see Dalton in his first game in Summer League here in Vegas, and I came away so impressed. And it wasn't just what I saw on the court. It was what I saw off the court, how he carried himself with his teammates, how he carried himself with his family. And it just was, like, this is the kid that you really want to succeed in life. And to see him not playing to that level, it hurts. It hurts a lot. But I'm not going to be dishonest with you guys. These are my true opinions and my true analysis, and you're not going to get anything else. And often, if it doesn't, you don't agree with it, or if you're really on the Dalton bandwagon, more power to you. But I've had to get off that bandwagon because whatever happened in his head when he was traded, it's just never come back. And I fault the Lakers for not recognizing this. Now, I said on playback that I think with Dalton, do you have a team psychiatrist? Do you have a team psychologist that you could talk to him? You could try to understand what's going on. Then I think it was Tough. I think Tough, if you're in the chat, you said it best. If we have to go ahead and do that for the guy, is it already over for him at 24? And I get your point on that. What's up, Drip Show? Great to have you here. 18 innings. Yeah, it's going. It could be like that because right now it's the end of the 15th, top of the 16th coming up. It is the Dodgers and Blue Jays. This could be the seminal moment, guys. This could be the seminal moment in the World Series. So keep your prayers for the Dodgers. Hopefully they will get the job done. Alan says, while everyone is injured, what's up, my friend? Great to have you here, and thank you for your patience. I was on the road for the first half of the game, so it's really hard for me to get you guys VIPs, but I tried my best. While everyone is injured, JJ needs to boost DK's confidence and start him every game until everyone gets back. I'd love to be with you on that island, Alan. I really would. I really want to be with you on that island. I just can't. His defense. The other team has already scouted. This book is already out on Dalton. And you see these teams, once he comes in the game, target him. There's a huge target on the back of Dalton Connect when he comes in that game. And you've got to go ahead, if you're Dalton, take it as your mission. Say, you know what? Okay, come at me. Come at me, bro. What you got for me, bro? And fight them tooth and nail and put every ounce of effort into it. Even if you're not clicking on the offensive end, fight and scrap. And like it was mentioned, Marcus Smart. Look at Marcus Smart and what he gives you. He may not give you the quality athlete, the exciting plays. He gives you rugged intensity each and every time. That's what Dalton has to give to you. I know that when the rest of the team was on Dalton for missing a rebound, blocking out the opponent in Sacramento and giving up a rebound and a score because of it. I know that the rest of the team was hard on him. And Marcus Smart came in and defended the kid and told the kid, cheer up, fight, and gave the a kind of pep talk I would give to the kid. And I'm hoping someday it will click in with him. And Alan, if you want him to start, it may come to that in Minnesota. It may come to that very fact if the Lakers are still struggling, because it's just hard right now because LaRavia, he got 30 minutes tonight and didn't give you nothing maybe he needs to come off the bench and need to start Dalton instead. But Marcus Smart, if he comes back, will probably be put in that starting lineup. And I can't say I blame them if that's the case, because Marcus Smart is also trying to prove himself. He's also trying to play for one more contract. You see Austin, and credit to him tonight. Again, 41 points for him. He gave you everything he got before he gassed out. And I don't want to credit him because, tonight's loss, even with the turnovers that he had and the team as a whole, you saw how fatigued they were tonight. The turnovers were just, it was really sloppy. 23 turnovers tonight, 8 by Austin Reeves. That's not good at all. It was clearly playing like it was a back-to-back, and he didn't have much in the tank. But again, it is what it is tonight. The Lakers just faded down the stretch, and unfortunately, they lose 122-108. But I'm not trying to be too hard on these guys, but it is the league, and we're going to see this next week when the Lakers, again, they play at home on Sunday, and guess what? They fly up to, you guessed it, Portland next Monday. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, the Lakers could be a little bit better staffed. I don't think Luka will play on that Monday back-to-back. I'm assuming he will wait until Wednesday at home against San Antonio. Oh boy, Victor Wembanyama coming here. But we'll see what happens then. Alan said Laravia minus 20. I mentioned that earlier. A minus 20. I screamed that at John. Minus 27. He was hyped, but he is slow. Yeah, he is but they need more for him than just being as John said it, those two, him and Austin Reeves, are tight. But do you commit to a $12 million 2-year contract for him if he only gives you RD23 says, who is going to guard Wemby, Gerald? That's a good question because DeAndre Ayton, even when you got DeAndre Ayton in full rev meter mode, like you saw last night, is not going to guard Wembanyama if Wembanyama chucks a 3. And then what if he takes it on the dribble? A 7'5" guy that can handle it behind his back, can handle it through the lane. He is just so scary, RD23. It is just, yes, for me, for investment purposes on the ticket I have for the Wemby game, that is first game here in America, it's great for that value. But if you're a Lakers fan like I am, it's not great when you have to go ahead and see him coming down the lane. I'm just hoping the Lakers won't give him 10 block shots. If they can avoid 10 block shots, I think that might be a plus for the Lakers. But we'll have to wait and see. But I expect if it's only a week for Luka, that's the game they will target him coming back. Alan says we all get on the comedy of Vando, but he gave us, again, Alan, and no Joker. I gave no Joker the win on this. One. That is the maximum Vando you see on the offensive end because he's so offensively challenged. But he gave you, compliment him. I'm complimenting him. He gave you everything he could offensively, which is 14 points. If you expect more from Vando, you are absolutely crazy to do so. But 14 points is really the maximum you get. And that's a great offensive performance for him because he's, as no Joker would even admit to, he's just didn't develop his game on the offensive end. So he gave you everything he could give you on the offensive end and still gave you okay defense at times. But even he, like the rest of the team, just faded down the stretch. But when he gives you a game like he gives you today offensively, you have to take advantage of it. And the Lakers, unfortunately, didn't. And RD23 let Bronny fall out while covering Wemby. You see, RD, that's his height came into question. He's trying to guard Grant, and Grant can just see over him and shoot over him with ease tonight. It was just, I don't know how he can go ahead and be an effective defender with his height. He's got to study more tape of Lou Dort and see how Lou Dort gets it with all the angles that he plays defensively, all the tricks that Lou Dort comes up with, because Lou Dort is also 6'2", listed at 6'2", 6'3", in that range. but he is an elite defender. Has a problem now and then with guys that are taller than him, but he holds his own more often than not when you go to Dort Island. So Bronny has to watch a lot of tape, I think, on Lou Dort in order to become a more effective defensive player. And tonight, he just looked like deers caught the headlights on offense. He looks absolutely petrified to do anything on offense. He just gave the ball hot potato. Hot potato. It's all yours. It was like Marcus Smart in that first game. Hot potato. It's yours. I don't want to shoot it. I don't want anything to do with it. Yeah, it was RD23. Alan, do you want Sorrow to murder you? I swear if Vando gets a triple double, I will buy Joe Sorrow an official Bronny jersey. That would be funny if you did, Alan. But I think that's the best offensively you're going to see Vando for a while. But again, we have a few games more to go without Luka, so who knows? What's up, Drip Show? No Joker says, I think that's going to be the key with Wemby, out a small, tenacious guard on him, and then make a fight for every inch to dribble. And that's the problem, though, No Joker. Even if you throw a double at him constantly, just after half court, if you give him that respect, Castle and Harper may become one of the best backcourts in the league. They've got to start those two. I don't know why Vassell is at the guard. Move him up to small forward. Harrison Barnes, you've seen better days. You need to go ahead and come off the bench because they need to they need to trade De'Aaron Fox. And I discussed this a little bit with Kayla Ponce. Hopefully, for you guys that are members, you can see it after the show. If you're not a member, you'll see it sometime on Tuesday. But I did discuss at length Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs in our NBA observation show. And we talked about I would explore by the end of the season trades for De'Aaron Fox because I really think you need to let Harper and Castle grow. And Harper looks like he's ready now. Harper looks like he's ready-made to go ahead and be in there and give you 30 minutes a game right now. He looks it. He looks like he's one of the most ready-made players coming out of college this season. You could say Flag, you could say Edgecombe, but Harper, I think if you guys have got a chance to see Dylan Harper play, you would be impressed with his play so far this season. Nibel says the Blue Jays have no Kirk, Springer, Barger. We should easily be winning. I know Nibel, but it's been a tough one. Bottom of the 16th, nobody out. So we'll see. Oh, it's one out. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, we need to finish off this game because, again, the Dodgers, and I'm going to give credit. I have been hard on the Dodgers bullpen all season. They were in the bottom 10 in bullpen ERA for most of this season, and they've gotten the job done tonight. I was really sad to see Kershaw, after such a great performance coming in, getting that third out with the bases loaded, and then they pulled him right away. And I was like, oh, no, let him work a couple innings. But, because we'd all know, if you know Dodgers baseball, how he's been in the clutch, which has not been good. That's one of his legacies. That out. I'm hoping for the Dodgers to be able to pull it out. Once again, right now, it is 0-2. Muncy is the batter, 1 out for the Dodgers. And again, we're all rooting for the Dodgers here. Truly cannot thank you enough for joining us. It is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do lose tonight. And again, I don't want to be too hard on them. I know it sounds like I'm criticizing a lot of these guys. But overall, again, this is to be a Rob Pelinka loss because of the fact he just hasn't provided this team with quality depth. I think that team like Oklahoma City or some of the other teams near the top of the Western Conference, they have the players at 10, 11, 12, 13 that can step up and really, really give you some good play. AJ Mitchell. How do they find AJ Mitchell in the second round like that? That kid, in last year's draft. How do they do this stuff? How does Presti do it? And the Lakers get Bronny and they get AJ Mitchell in that same second round. So yeah, you tell me on that one. So yeah, it's truly disappointing for the loss, but again, it was not unexpected because the Lakers just simply ran out of gas in that second half as the Lakers lose, unfortunately, 122 to 108. It's Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for joining me. Tomorrow, again, if you're not a member, I will throw up the NBA observations with Caleb Ponce. And then, of course, on Wednesday, don't forget playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. I tried to cheat the system a little bit and throw up the simulcast for YouTube on about 2 hours early, but it didn't work out, so I had to redo it. So I apologize for that for YouTube viewers. But of course, playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Try to throw up the simulcast, and then of course on Wednesday night, we'll be right back at you here after the game on Wednesday at Minnesota. So right now it is going to the top of the 17th. The Dodgers out 1-2-3. Keep your prayers in there for the Dodgers. But Alan says AJ Mitchell's a baller. I believe it's coaching culture who puts that confidence. You must be right, Alan, because their development is probably, from what they've seen with what ASGA developed in Oklahoma City. Williams developed in Oklahoma City. Holmgren has developed in Oklahoma City. Dort has developed in Oklahoma City. And Wiggins as a second rounder. Wiggins was the last number 55 pick before Bronny to stay in the league. He has been developed in Oklahoma City. Isaiah Joe was cut by another team, and he developed in Oklahoma City. And then Cason Wallace developed. Yeah, the list seemingly goes on and on and on. AJ Mitchell looks to be that next player to go ahead and get it done. Allen, Cason hasn't even looked good enough this season. He has kind of struggled at times this season so far, but that hasn't mattered. They're still undefeated. So that's what happens when you have players not playing well. There are other players behind them that are going to pick up the slack. Jay says Rob wants a home run trade for depth. Raise your floor instead of trying only raise your ceiling. I agree, Jay. You're preaching to the choir on that one. Nibel says I can't believe Aaron Wiggins. He's so good. Absolutely. And when did he get picked? At number 55 in his draft. Not the same draft, of course, as Bronny, because Bronny was also picked number 55. But yeah, what a steal again for Sam Presti. And again, as was mentioned earlier, their development plan on how they develop their players is absolutely needs to be commended. And if Sam Presti becomes available when a certain Mark Walter comes and takes over the team, just saying, would love to see that happen. I would be very happy if that would be the case. Yes, Jay, he is. Yeah, he's the best NBA GM right now. The proof is in the pudding. I mean, they just won a championship. They have a still extremely young team. They've got depth. They've got a myriad of assets. And they look like they're set up for the next decade. They're in the most enviable position in basketball, in major league sports, you could say. And that to me is it's just right there. It's just right there. I would love Drip Show, trust me, I would love for them to go get Sam. Would love it. If they need money for me to pitch in, they need money from us to pitch in. I'd send my super chats in order to do that. But I put in a super chat to do that. But I don't think it's gonna. I think if he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it for triple or quadruple what he's currently making now in Oklahoma City, or he's just so comfortable in Oklahoma City. Why would you want to go anywhere? If it's not about the money, he probably has no desire to go anywhere else because he's set up for life as far as championships, and he doesn't have to pay for anything when he goes out. When he goes out to dinner, guess what? Everybody in Oklahoma City is picking up the tab for him. JY said, did the Lakers have enough players to beat the Trailblazers in your opinion, G? No, JY. And I think that's the gist of it. That's why I can't put all the onus. I know there were specific critical things I said of certain specific Lakers today, JY, but in essence, today was about Rob Pelinka not providing a quality, deep team around Luka and LeBron. And you can say all you want about LeBron's $53 million sucking up so much of the salary cap, and they didn't have a myriad of assets, whatnot. But again, it seems like if you're a good enough GM, you find ways to get good players on your team. You evaluate talent in the draft that can make an imprint on your team. And it just seems like talent evaluation is one of the worst aspects of Rob's job at this point. Alan said 63% of the Lakers' salary is tied to two players. Can't ever get depth away, so Pelinka's 100%. I disagree with you, Alan. I disagree with you. Again, he's had opportunities in the draft. He's had opportunities to trade. There are teams out there that are also up against the cap like him and have managed to build depth with their roster. Houston, they're up against the cap and they have quality depth on their roster. Same thing can be said about the Clippers. Same thing can be said about Oklahoma City with their three max players coming up here. I mean, they're going to be up against the cap and they have a myriad of roster because they've made the choices to get themselves to that point. Rob is a terrible talent evaluator. Point blank. You cannot tell me anything different. When you just JHS, Bronny, I don't care if you're doing it for Braun. You just say no. Pick him up as an undrafted free agent. You could have picked up Ariel Hook-Porty as a 7-footer that is getting time with the Knicks right now. Just little things like that. This year's draft, instead of getting a Dutiero who might still be good, but we don't know because he hasn't played a lick because he has a knee injury. He's had a knee surgery already. You could, if you made two trades in the second round to move up in the second round, go for a guy like Ryan Kalkbrenner, who is the starting center on the Charlotte Hornets. These are simple little things, talent evaluations that you make. Caruso, you let Caruso walk for you kept THT. You were in the room and could have told Magic, don't do it. Don't trade Ivica Zubats. For the love of God, man, don't do it. Didn't do it. Traded for Mike Muscala. Mike effing Muscala. Said it was bad at the time, and I was right on that one. And then the Westbrook deal. You could easily see that Westbrook deal was going to be a bad fit for the Lakers. Yet you gave up draft picks in order to get him, a guy that really set this team back as far as his depth is concerned. Alan says, exactly, Will Klein, indeed, Aaron. I don't like Pelinka either, but I feel the Lakers coaching staff development team needs to be better. I feel that the only plan. Again, Alan, you're right, but you have two longtime head coaches on the staff. And of course, the Genie, when it comes to Genie, it is true what they say. And if you read the book, and I understand it's a cheap plug, but I tell you what, I had a really good conversation with Yaron Weitzman, and he really went behind the scenes with what's going on with the Lakers. And again, he talks about at length the Lakers and Genie's, how should I say, frugalness, cheapness, for lack of a better term. And again, if you give it a chance, check out this book, A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers by Yaron Weitzman. It's a really good book, and I really enjoyed reading it. I did have a conversation with him. It's on the channel. He goes into depth at how, for the Lakers, which is one of the largest and best revenue teams anywhere in any major sport, still manages to cut corners and has cut corners in every opportunity, even in the LeBron era. So that tells you all I need to know. Jay said, is Gabe, that's a good point, Alan. Was Gabe worth paying $11 million? Has that been a good pickup? Did we think it's a good pickup? I mean, I know he played well in the finals for Miami against Denver, but he's a streaky shooter at best. And we saw that, since then, it's just not been pretty silent again. Kleber, Jay, I will say this. Kleber, I'm not going to fault Rob on because that was salary cap fodder for the Luka trade. They wanted to dump his salary for getting Luka. They said, okay, if you want Luka, you're going to have to take this bad salary. The Kleber deal, Jay, I think I'm not going to put on Rob. I put a lot on Rob, but he did get the deal done. I will give him credit for getting the deal done, and to get the deal done without giving up Austin and only giving up Max Christie instead, who actually had a good game the other game, but is still coming off the bench for them, was taking on Maxi Kleber's bad salary. So we would not have Luka on this roster today, I don't think, if we didn't take Maxi Kleber's bad salary on top of it. So I'll just leave it at that. JY says down Magic is at the Dodge. Well, remember, he owns a part of the Dodgers, I believe, JY still, because he's part of that Guggenheim conglomerate. He was the community face for the Dodgers when the Walter and the Guggenheims took over. So definitely we'll see. As it hits to the bottom of the 17th, Rojas is on 1 out, tied 5-5 right now in the bottom of the 17th. Man, we're really rooting for the Dodgers here. We'll see what happens, and I'll keep you guys abreast of what's going on with that. But again, yeah, that's just wanted to say, Alan and Jay, I know we've been hard on Rob, but the Kleber thing, that was what you had to have to deal with the devil in order to get Luka, and that was the soul you had to take back. That was the soul you had to take back in order to go ahead and get Luka. And if you're going to get Luka, I'll take Maxi Kleber back every single time. JY says, shouldn't the Dodgers take out Ohtani if that's to pitch later on today? You have that conversation with JY. You have that conversation with Shohei. You have that conversation with Shohei. Tell me you have that conversation with Shohei. By the way, if you take him out, let's say you're managing and you take out Shohei Ohtani in the middle of one of the most important games right now in the history of baseball, because it's going into the 18th inning, it looks like. It's the bottom of the 17th and 2 outs. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be that manager that takes out Ohtani, because if you lose, you will never hear about it from guys like Joe, Empire Jeff, or any Dodgers or baseball critic till the rest of time for doing that. So, you know what? You've got to have your best players in there. I understand he's pitching later today, but we'll see. Again, but I would not take out Ohtani unless Ohtani comes to me and says, you know what? I need my rest, coach. I need to rest. We'll even if we chalk up this game as loss, I'll come back and I'll get us even for you. If he says that, then yeah, okay. But I don't think Ohtani is doing that right now. He is such a gamer and competitor. As there's a base hit, bottom of the 17th, man on first. So we'll see what happens. See if somebody makes a mistake. So it is 2 outs. The Dodgers have a base runner at first. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I would not take out Ohtani unless Ohtani comes to me and says he wants to take himself out. Alan says, you have to understand teams are not going to trade down to make a Lakers beat team. Oh, yeah, Alan, I get that. I understand that. And again, when it comes to Maxi Kleber, you give Rob a pass on that because that's the price of getting Luka. That was the price of getting Luka. 1 first rounder. And yeah, again, you didn't have to give up Austin, and you only gave up 1 first rounder for Luka when you should have given up like 20. So, yeah. Alan says everyone hates us. Also, they hate Pelinka. I think they hate Nico even more now. I think the hate for Nico in Dallas is stronger than the hate here in Los Angeles. As Shohei Ohtani is up. Shohei Ohtani at Dodger Stadium, his last 7 bats, 5 include 5 home runs. So we'll see what happens. But he did hit a homer earlier tonight. So we'll see. But yeah, I would not take him out. I would not take him out unless he asks to come out, and he does not look like, as he's coming up the bat right now, that he wants to come out of the game right now. And again, it's bottom of 17th, 2 outs. Dodgers and Toronto are tied at 5, man on first. We'll see what happens here. Get a triple. Get us a triple. Or a double. Maybe a double score him as well. We'll see. We'll see. It's funny because Lakers Zach, I think, is rooting for the Toronto Blue Jays. And he's in the chat with the other guys that are all rooting for the Dodgers. I think they're all giving Lakers Zach some crap there. It's kind of funny to see. But it is, of course, the Lakers here. I truly appreciate you guys. Yeah, 2 homers tonight. Yes, you're right, 2 homers. I heard about it, read about it, but I didn't see the other homer. I got to check that out on the highlights after the game, after tonight's show. But Alan says, well, I think Nico was having a stroke when he was coaching. You know what? They had the lunches together, Alan. If the story goes, the story goes. They had lunches together to work out the barometers of this deal. So nobody put a gun to Nico's head. This was all Nico. Maybe it was maybe the Fertitas, or excuse me, the ownership group in charge of Dallas that isn't Mark Cuban, because they did this behind Mark Cuban's back, because Mark Cuban is no longer the majority owner of the team. They didn't want to pay him because they saw out of shape Luka, and there you go. Oh, by the way, they just walked Ohtani, so now there's a man on first and second, 2 outs in the bottom of the 17th. Yeah, they were trying to avoid throwing anything juicy to Ohtani. They wanted to make him chase it, and Ohtani was smart on that. Mookie Betts is up, so we'll see what happens. But it is first and second, 2 outs on the bottom of 17. But when it comes to Rob Pelinka, again, I have criticized him on his evaluation of talent. And we saw evidence of that tonight with the Lakers just 6 through 9. Well, actually, if you include Arabia, 5 through 9 just couldn't get it done tonight as the Lakers faded in the second half. A valiant effort in that first half to keep it close, but 122 to 108. Austin Reeves, once again, 41 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 8 turnovers. Jared Vanderbilt, again, I think he maximized his offensive capabilities, 6 of 11, 14 and 8 for him. DeAndre Ayton, 16 and 8. It's all right. But we needed more than all right tonight. And Rui Hashimura, same thing, 16 and 6. But it's obviously you could see the fatigue in those guys if you watch the game. Alan says, yeah, right, tough. An intentional, unintentional walk for Ohtani. Alan says, also we have to say, yeah, you could get other players, but team management needs to select those players that fit their star play. You're right, Alan. And did they think they were going to land Luka this time last season? No, of course not. Of course not. But even with LeBron, if it was just LeBron and AD, let's say they didn't trade for Luka and it was still LeBron and AD, they would still have an issue as far as what they fielded behind the roster with them. And you know, I've seen teams that are also limited funds make better choices about the middle and the back end of the roster than what the Lakers have done and evaluate their talent a little bit better. But Rob has always been able to get by because he has the better top end players playing for them. And that's going to be something we'll wait and see what happens. But again, it's going to be a tough week, guys, but please stay with us, bear with us. Wednesday night's game is going to be in Minnesota. We're going to have it for you on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. And then also as well, the post game will be right there for you. And then don't forget the simulcast of playback will be live on the YouTube as well. So we're seeing what happens. It is 3-2, 2 outs, bottom of the 17th, man on first and second. Mookie Betts is up, getting nervous, everyone. Joe is probably bitten off all the fingernails off on his hands. Alan says LBJ and Luka needs to be surrounded by 3-and-D players, and we have no rotation players that fit that. You're right, but this has not just been a one-day thing, though. This is not just, oh man, that was good. It's a hard foul. Man, if you just put that in play. But I will say this, and we'll go ahead and head on out after this. LBJ and Luka needs to be surrounded by 3-and-D players. You're right. But this was a need before Luka even came on the team, and Rob was not able to go ahead and do that. So we'll wait and see. Vando, good defense, the end, smart passing, used by date, Austin, 100% effort, but no D. Yeah, it just, tonight this team was fatigued. This team was just in that second half, you could see just by their effort level, they could not get the job done in that second half, and they faded. And it's not just a third quarter thing. It's just that they had no energy. The back-to-back game, what have you. I know Joe would not accept that as an excuse, but it is what it is when you saw them tonight. Just they look fatigued. They look gassed out. We called it on playback, and we saw it. When you're down so many good players, that's a problem. It is going to the 18th inning because Mookie Betts just flied out. But you guys, go back, enjoy the game, enjoy the rest of the World Series. Hopefully the Dodgers will get it for today, and then we'll see what happens. But I will say, as I'm closing on out, again, please support my good friend Drip Show. You see the quality canvas art right here, right there, right there. Luca and Kobe. Pillow right here with Kobe and Gigi. Again, this kind of effort is really, really just should be appreciated. If you want something like this, or if you want something more pop culture related, or if you have a young lady in your life that likes K-pop or Taylor Swift, I'm sure Drip Shop could probably do that for you as far as create something for them in a t-shirt, hat, pillow, canvas art, poster, something like that. He could do it for you. But the first thing you got to do is follow at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. But yeah, if you guys looking for an out-of-box idea, really for the one member of the family or significant other, yeah, that would be a great place to start. So give a big shout out to Drip Show. And then, of course, if you get a chance, please get that book from Yaron Weitzman. It's available now wherever you get your books. It's the #1 book sales-wise. It's the bestseller, #1 bestseller in sports journalism right now on Amazon. It is, of course, A Hollywood Ending, The Dreams and Drama of the LeBron Lakers by Yaron Weitzman. And you can check out my interview that I did with him last week as well that I put up. Jay said trading and signing for only 3-and-D players would kill the Lakers when LeBron leaves, kill the Heat and Cavs too. Yeah, you have to recognize what you need and try to address it before those needs come up all the way and you have problems with it. Again, this was a Rob Pelinka night. I can only put so much blame on the players. I have to put it on the guy who built this team and didn't build it for a team that could really address, quality needs when the Lakers are injured. So we need our players back. Hopefully we'll get 2 of them back on Wednesday night. According to JJ, we may get Marcus Smart back and also as well Jackson Hayes back in the lineup on Wednesday. We're keeping our fingers crossed. But once again, Gerald Glassford, thanks so much again for watching this. Truly appreciate it. Tough So says, get some shut-eye, G. You deserve it. Guess where I'm heading, Tough? I'm heading over to playback.tv/the Joe Soro Experiment right now, catching the rest of the game. Hopefully I'm not going to jinx the Dodgers when I do so. I will make sure. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stay on the air until it goes to the end of this half inning. I don't want to curse the Dodgers and everybody blame me. So I don't want to do that. Tough. They would never let me live it down. Hard shot, but it was caught by Freddie Freeman. 1 out in the top of the 18th. So I'll stay with you guys just a few minutes later. Yeah, he's supposed. But Aaron X says Shane Bieber is now in the bro. Yeah, I mean you gotta do what you gotta do, right, Aaron? You've got very few choices left. You've already burned through quite a few pitchers in the bullpen. I really think you should have given Kershaw more innings. You only gave him a third of the inning, but he did give you the most important third inning with a shutdown of the Jays in his 1/3 of an inning with the bases loaded. But he's supposed to start game 4. I know, but you got to go all stops. This is your series right now. If you're managing right now, Aaron, this is the World Series. I mean, I think you went to Dodger Stadium this season, so when it comes down to this is the money game right now. This could be the pivotal point in the series right here. And so Guerrero Jr. is up right now, 1 out, nobody on. Klein is pitching right now for the Dodgers, so he's still throwing at 98. Again, top of the 18th. JSJ says he's scared of Guerrero in the chat. That sounds like JSJ. But yes, great to have you here. Jay says Arabia shouldn't start again. You know what, Jay? What I do, Marcus Smart is probably going to have to be in that starting lineup. But you know what? I would see if I could squeeze in Dalton Connect. What are you going to do at this point? When he comes off the bench, they immediately point him out as the guy they're going to hit. Why not try to get this guy some rhythm going and say, I'm going to live or die with you. I'm going to lose or win this game with you playing tonight from the get-go. Try it once. If it doesn't work, oh well. Because you got to try everything when Luka and LeBron are out right now. So, yeah, he's on one-day rest. Yeah, it's just terrible. Tough said, I would imagine if Varys, voice had gone by now. Yep. Yeah, it's Varys' voice is probably gone right now, my friend. He's probably cursing up a storm as we speak, as the Blue Jays have one on first base and one out. Let's get a double play, guys. But yeah, I don't want to curse it. I don't want to curse it because I don't want to go ahead and end the game and it be my fault. But now it's 1-1. So I'm going to stay on with you guys until hopefully the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 18th inning. So we'll go from there because my voice is almost gone right now. So yeah, I can wait and see. But Aeronatic says exactly no way you can go to position player in the World Series. Absolutely. Again, right now you've got a lot of decisions you have to make because you're running out of time. But right now there was a player safe at first, but it is 2 outs. So it was basically almost double play, but didn't quite work out. So he did beat it out. Yeah. Tie goes the runner, or I don't know. Do they want to see that one? I don't know. Are they going to review it? Are they going to review it? Yeah, I think that's safe. I think they're going to call him safe. Ooh, he might be out. I would review it. I would review it. I don't know. They're going to have to take a look at it. It looks like it's a tie. So the tie goes to the runners. So we'll wait and see. Aaron says, dude, he out. Never I thought I'd see 2 Dodgers World Series games go 18 innings. Yeah, that's crazy, Aaron. But that's how tight, that's how close these teams are right now. I think Joe, when we talked about 110 wins for this team at the beginning of the season, that they didn't come close to that. And Toronto, with a lot of hitters at the middle of their lineup that are really good. I think this is more even than we care to admit, and I think we're seeing that play out. But man, I'm hoping that the Dodgers can pull this through. They are reviewing it right now on the screen. Again, it looks like it's a play at first. Looks Freeman, did he get the ball in his mitt before the Blue Jays runner hit the base? We'll have to wait and see. But yes, they're still reviewing at this point in time. Again, I don't want to curse it, so I'm not going to go ahead and go over there yet until the Dodgers are able to bat in the bottom of the 18th. So if they say he's safe, okay. They called it safe. 2 outs right there, top of the 18th. So we'll see what happens there. Again, I think it was a tie. I really think it was a tie and tie goes to the runner of baseball. So Klein is up, but again, the Lakers themselves, they lose 122-108. They are 2-2. And again, I would be happy, guys, if Luka comes back and they're a 500 team. If they're a 500 team, then I would be happy. I think we should all be happy if that's the case. What happened? Oh, it's just, okay, he threw it back to first. Okay, because the camera, they took the wrong shot of it. So it's 1-0, 2 outs, top of the 18th. But again, the Lakers lose 122-108. Again, they gave a great effort in the first half to keep it close. They did fade in that second half. And I want to see, hopefully, a better effort for a full 4 quarters. They'll get a day of rest. They are flying to Minnesota. The NBA schedule is unforgiving. So wait and see what happens. But Alan says, "Where's Joe? He should have a playback for." He does, Alan. He does. That's where they're all at right now. That's why they're not watching this game, because they're all here. Let me go ahead and get it for you guys. You guys jump on over there. I don't blame you. There's the link, Alan. There's the link right there. So truly appreciate you joining us once again. It is Gerald Glassford. Truly appreciate, again, everybody being a part of what we're doing. Yes, that's it right there. That's where they're at right now. So you want to go and check out there. No fault there. Yeah, go ahead going out, because I'm heading on out here. I'm just waiting for that final out, Alan. Just waiting for that final out to go ahead and check everything out there. But cannot thank you enough for stopping by. Once again, support Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Don't forget the Lakerholics crew at the Lakerholics.com site. Of course, Empire Jeff TV. Of course, my good friend who was on playback. He's actually on the YouTube simulcast. That was Legend. Legend that I got Next Sports Media at Alfred Esmond on Twitter. All these great people, all these great folks. And again, tomorrow, for those who are not members, I will have a NBA observation show with Caleb Ponce, who covers the Oklahoma City Thunder. I've had him on before. It's a great conversation. We had a great conversation about NBA observations and what's going on early in the season. I hope you get a chance to check it out. So I'm looking forward to hearing you guys' thoughts on that as well. And yes, as you see in the JPEG for the members only video right now, do we think Victor Wembanyama is in the top 5 in the NBA already? And it's kind of hard to say no on that one, but I do want to hear your thoughts on that one if you get a chance to check it out. It's 2-2 right now, 2 outs. 3-2 right now, 2 outs. Varsho's in as far as at the plate. Who is it? Klein is still pitching. 63 pitches already for Klein. Ooh, he's getting tired. Runner's going, and it's a pop-up. Foul behind the screen. Giving you the play-by-play here. I know everybody's like that's listening, like, what the hell is he doing, man? What the hell is he doing? But I just wanted to say thank you again from all of us here. I know that John Costa, Clutch Talk, and Lakers Corner, add Lakers Corner, not only YouTube, where you can see his 3-minute Lakers report, but also Lakers Corner wherever you get your social media. Alan says, we need you in the playback to do a play-by-play. I think my throat will be gassed. My throat is gassing like Austin Reeves in the second half right now. So I don't think I'll be able to give you much, but I am going to hop over there. I just don't want to curse the Dodgers right now. So I will not go over there in full, because I've been popping back and forth between here and playback.tv/the Joe Soro experiment. I put it in the chat, and I will be going there immediately after. Oh, he fouled to. Oh, he could have caught that. Oh, Smith. Ouch. That's going to hurt his forearm. That's going to be a bruise. Ouch. Yeah. Ouch. That was on his forearm. Ouch. Hopefully, he isn't broken. Oh, he's still in there. JSJ says you should join the stage on playback. Yeah, I'm not going to do that yet. Almost finished. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Strikeout. Oh, safe. Oh, no. So there's 2. Oh, he walked him. So it's runners on first and second. The third base umpire said it wasn't a swing. Oh, that looked like he. Oh, it looked like he went. All right. So it's runners on first and second, 2 out. So we'll see what happens. But again, Klein is still in there. What is Roberts going to do? They're making a call right now. Are they going to go to a relief pitcher right now? Yamamoto is in the bullpen right now. Yamamoto is the dude just pitched 9 innings last night, and you have him in the bullpen? Oh, wow. Man, you could tell this is all the marbles right here. This is the type of emotional game that could really define the series. This could be the pinnacle point of the World Series. So they're pulling out all the stops right now. Yamamoto is warming up in the bullpen. Klein is still pitching. It is 2 outs. We'll see what happens. Heineman is up, but we'll see what happens. Get that out. Okay, 0-1. Foul ball. We're going to see what happens. Again, I'm going to stay with you until the Dodgers come up to bat. And Aeronautic says, Rick Monday says, Yama's still not ready. Yeah, he needs some time to warm up, Aeronautic. But man, that's a risky thing. I hope Yamamoto asked for this. Ball 1. So 1-1. Nervous time, everyone. If you're a Dodgers fan, This is nervous time. But yeah, after this, I will be heading over to playback.tv/the Joe Soro experiment. The Joe Soro experiment on Playback. And of course, we know the Joe Soro experiment on YouTube. So 1-1 pitch coming up, and that's behind the screen coming up right there. Oh, wild pitch. And now the runners are on second and third, 2 outs just to make it. Yeah, he's nervous time, everyone. Nervous time. Bad pitch. And yeah, it looks like that's not a good sign for the Dodgers right now. They got to get this out. While Div X-Ray is on there right now saying they're about to lose to these bumps. That's hilarious. Oh my God, that's so funny. Man, we will see what happens, but 2-1 right now, 2 outs. What's going on? What's going on? There's a bat boy coming into the game and getting something to clean off his shoe. JSJ said, shut up. You shut up, JSJ. You shut up, JSJ. See, even when I'm on live on the post game, I'm still telling people to shut up, and like JSJ. So there you go. Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. Again, I'm trying to give you guys the play-by-play as we're going along. The Lakers, they do lose 122-108. Once again, Austin Reeves, another great performance. 8 turnovers, though, 23 as a team. Obviously, a team that was fatigued, just didn't have enough energy on a back-to-back night. So we will see. JSJ, shout out to you, my friend. It is now 3-1. Woo, 2 outs. You're going to go ahead and force a walk on him. We'll see what happens. But again, 3-1, 2 outs. JSJ is watching this and the LFB at the same time. Big shout out to you, JSJ. That's a strike. Yeah, there you go. 3-2. 3-2 for Klein on Heineman. All right, there you go indeed. But guys, any last thoughts? Hopefully before we head on out. Aeronautics said, what a great way to call time. Absolutely. Will Klein is a legend. Let's hope he stays a legend for one more pitch at least. We'll see what happens. 3-2, 2 outs. And he struck him out. Yes, he struck him out. All right, he struck him out. The Dodgers have a chance. The Dodgers are psyched. Everybody's screaming. I am going to head on over to the playback.tv/the Joe Soro experiment. I'm going to head on over. I'm going to rest my voice. But I'll see you guys tomorrow with the NBA observations that I've got lined up for you. And on Wednesday against the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Lakers lose. But if we keep 500 like we are right now, by the time Luka comes back, it could still be a good thing. It can still be a productive season. It can still be a good season. Just what will happen the next few days, we'll find out together right here on the Lakers Fast Break podcast. See you on Playback. Go Lakers. Go Dodgers.